Welcome, everybody, to Beyond the Veil. I am Adina. Oh, wait, I should say Beyond the Veil with Adina because there is another Beyond the Veil page that existed before mine, which is why I had to put the Adina behind my name when I created this. But welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina, and I would be Adina. If this is your first time here on my live, I appreciate you stopping by. And I just want to let you know that I am a medium. I do talk to spirits and I do readings on this channel. And I understand that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I only ask that respectfully you exit. If you choose to exit, I ask that you do so respectfully and do not disrespect yourself, disrespecting me. If you are a return viewer or one of my subscribers or one of my beloved blessed babies, I'm so happy to see you guys this Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you guys. Oh, sissy, my goodness. I really do appreciate that. And I appreciate all of your kindness that you guys have been showing me over the past few days, especially since I vented the other day. Welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina. Thank you, Rosetta. A floating heart. I love those because I get to do this. Aisha, welcome back. So happy Wednesday, you guys. Happy day of Mercury. It's a wonderful day to communicate clearly and assertively. It is a great day for documentation, contracts. We are a community, sissy. Thank you, Navneet. I noticed your thirst. I absolutely noticed your thirst when you asked me to remove my shirt, when you said show beautiful, and then again when you told me that you love my bra. So I want you to know, if you didn't think that I acknowledged your thirst, I acknowledge your dehydration. And I brought you a little something here. Yeah, that's what you need to help you with your thirst. Okay? All right, you good? All right, that's great. All right. Now that we've got Navneet some hydration in his, her, their system, I hope that everybody's doing well this Wednesday. I was telling you guys what Wednesdays are great for. It's great for working on cars and vehicles. It is great for reminding Navneet that I see you. So, and when I say thirst, I mean your desperation to be seen and acknowledged. All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Actually, Wednesday is the day that rules, or Mercury is the planet that rules mental capacities and things like that. And I didn't even think about that when I picked this topic. Hey, Tiara, how are you? Because I was really unmotivated to come on live, as I have been recently. And as of the past couple of days, I really was like, oh, these people got me all the way fucked up. Let me just go back to my corner in the world so they don't think, so that people don't forget that I just don't, I'm not here to play. Anyways, um, so I didn't realize that it was Wednesday when I chose this topic. I actually chose it because of two conversations in the celebrity world. And they involve Nicki Minaj and Gucci Mane, the rapper. Um, Gucci Mane and his wife did an interview with the Breakfast Club, ironically, after, didn't they fall out a while ago? After Gucci Mane kind of put, what's the lady's name? Angela Yee on blast for sleeping with him or something like that, or trying to sleep with him. So I didn't think they was really feeling Gucci Mane like that, but there he was with his wife. And the topic was his schizophrenia, his mental health. I didn't watch the interview, but I saw all the conversations about them. The conversation was supposed to be about mental health. I don't know how Nicki Minaj was brought into it, but she did mention something about Gucci Mane's wife being jealous of her, wanting to be her. She said that Gucci Mane's wife keeps him sedated. And then there came out of that conversations about Nicki Minaj's mental health. And while, like I said, I didn't see the interview and I didn't see everybody's back and forth. Forgive me, I've been doing real estate today. But I thought it was interesting because, um, for one, I've read Gucci Mane before and I have seen certain things about, um, well, then let me help you get out of here, OG, so you can get some fucking rest. I've saw certain things about his relationship with his wife, and Nicki Minaj didn't. Gucci Mane, I don't think he put her on. I thought, now I do remember Lil Wayne. I mean, Nicki Minaj started out before Lil Wayne with Gucci Mane. I know that they were under the same umbrella. Like she even did a song with him, or a remix with him to Very Freaky Girl with Little Kim. So I know in her early days she did some work with them, but as far as I'm concerned and mainstream is concerned, Little Wayne put her on. So, and Deb put her on. She did what I think I love, not I think I love her, Very Freaky Girl with Gucci Mane. But how many of Nicki Minaj's mainstream fans know about that song with her and Little Kim? Raise your hand if you didn't know Nicki Minaj had a song with Little Kim before she blew up as Nicki Minaj on Gucci Mane's track, Very Freaky Girl remix. I don't know nothing about that Lady Ribs, but I did see from my last reading, it's my opinion, that she's his handler. Before anybody else said that, and go ahead and rewatch the video that I posted. I shared what it's called as a on my profile page. It's called The Curse. It's from 11 months ago. It's not a live. It was when I was recording videos and not doing lives, only on every 500 subscribers. I used to do lives and I would only do videos. I talked about that last year, that she was his handler. But even before I got on YouTube, I knew that. I knew that when he got out, I actually knew that would happen when he went online and then start exposing. No, I know. I was, who insulted someone? I wasn't trying to insult anyone. I was saying I don't think a lot of fans of Nicki Minaj that are mainstream, not her stans, but like people who just know her from her mainstream success. I don't think that they know that they had a song together. And it's from the early 2000s, so it's not that old. Let me see. When did Very Freaky Girl come out? Very Freaky Girl, Gucci Mane.
Hey, what's going on? For those of you
He
watching,
came out with that song 18 years ago. So it's not like, and then they might have did the remix, maybe a couple of years after that. So it's not that old. I'm not talking about for the generation who didn't grow up on Nicki Minaj.
so when we first heard about
Absolutely, Asia. So yes, certain. I want you guys to go rewatch it because as it relates to the trending topics today. I stated in that reading that even though I was reading their label because of the artist that had just passed away, so you guys get a 2-in-1 in that reader. Hey J, in that reading, hey JD. But I spoke about what I believe transpired to Gucci Mane, and I still believe it. There's nothing that I read on that I don't believe as fact more than what is reported. People lie, but the truth does not. What's there does not. And I look into what's there. So anyways, I knew it when he went online exposing all of that stuff, and then he was immediately locked up. Just like I told you guys what would happen to Little Nas X when he got locked up, I told you guys that they would have him in some sort of medical treatments, that they were going to zap him. And what the fuck happened as soon as he got released? He said he was arrested and treated by a medical team. The fuck do you think that treatment consists of that gets them to quiet and completely be docile? It's the same thing that I believe that they do to a lot of prisoners, because I believe it was in my reading of the Pope opening those doors, and as that related to the prisoners being released to help out in the California wildlife. I channeled one of those prisoners, and I said that some of them get taken away from their cells in the crack of night, and then they get experimented on, and then they get put back in their cells and have no recollection of what transpired other than them going to sleep the night before. I saw it with my mind's eye. And I believe that that is exactly what happened to Gucci. Do I think he's cloned? No. No, that's a lot more expensive. And if he was cloned, he wouldn't need a handler, because they would handle him with their supersonic clone technology. The kind that I believe that they implanted in Jamie Foxx. I believe that he's working off of some sort of AI consciousness, because I believe he was dead. And that's why they didn't take him off the machines when he didn't have any brain activity. They shipped him to that facility where they did that cutting edge procedure on him, and voila. So I don't believe Gucci Mane is cloned, because clones are things of the past. Why would you clone someone and spend all your resources making a brand new version of them that can malfunction, and then you need a brand new version of them, when you can program the original version of them and layer into there whatever it is you like? If you've ever studied psychology past high school, this isn't a foreign concept. In fact, Ivy League schools give introductory psychology classes for free on Coursera.com, Coursera.com. Another gem. I have gotten certificates from Harvard and Yale. Will I be able to do anything with them? Probably not, but the information that I got for me is invaluable. So I'm not looking to go and use those in the workforce. I took those classes for the information. Coursera.com. Ivy League schools give free courses all the time in all kinds of topics. Go on there. If you're an academic like I am, go on there, browse them. JD. JD. So yeah. So you don't need to clone people anymore. They experimented with that a long time ago, but that's not cutting edge technology anymore. Okay? It's easier to program the person, less detectable to program the person. Now, when you do have an alter, meaning you disassociate from your core persona and another persona is brought out of you, sometimes it can alter the way you look because your mind is working differently. It's sending different waves and chemicals or communications to the rest of your body. And so your body chemicals or your body is responding a different way, a way that's foreign to it. You can absolutely look different when you have been split. You can when you have been split. You can look different. Gucci Man, I believe, according to my past readings, was tampered with when he went to prison, and he went to prison to be tampered with. He went to prison in order to be tampered with. And then Keisha, I believe, was given the remote and taught how to use it. Okay? But I said that in my previous reading. I've said that in my California wildlife reading when I talked about the Pope opening the doors and the prisoners being allowed to go out and help in the wildfires, releasing prisoners to the fires of hell and damnation, um, hypothetically. So Meek Mill can't handle himself. So I'd like to talk about the weaponization of mental health because I would like for people to be able to see how it is weaponized. Let me give you 3 people who I do not believe were born with any mental health. And I do put mental health in a quotation because it is my own personal theory that mental illness is not a mental illness. I believe that the illness comes from somewhere else or the imbalance comes from somewhere else. And I believe it's an emotional state, which then sends or through your nervous system teaches the mind how to react in fear, anxiety, fight and flight, etc. As a reader, I moonlight as a therapist because sometimes people, some of the consultation is therapy. I'm listening to you guys tell me about the problem, and then my job is to help find a solution. In my experience, and I have been doing this professionally as a professional spiritualist for well over a decade now. Before I came to YouTube, I was already doing what I do. And I have had several, not 7, but several, meaning 3 to 5 people that I have worked with that were considered bipolar. And from my studies and my experience with them and my comparing them, that is where I came to the conclusion that most mental illness are not mental illness. My belief about autism is that we're all on a spectrum because what or who gets to determine what the baseline is for normal? Who gets to determine who's normal and who's not? And what exactly does normal mean? I believe in calling it a spectrum because humans are a spectrum. It's difficult without only looking within one's family and one's immediate family to find carbon copies of them. But even in that, everybody is different. We're all a spectrum. Humanity is a spectrum. Mammals, a species, are a spectrum. And who determines what the baseline for that is? And so, in my experience working with people who are known to be bipolar, all of the ones that I have worked with professionally, meaning as a medium, as whatever you want to call me, as a woo lady, because they come for woo, they come for healing. All of them have very, very, very traumatic events that took place in their lives. Some of them had really, really, really traumatic upbringings altogether. And then some of them experienced something traumatic that changed them permanently, meaning after that, they weren't the same. That's when the mental illness kicked in. The first one I worked with that was considered bipolar, she was just a year or two younger than me in Texas. She was an artist. She liked to paint and do things like that. She liked to smoke weed. She was also a prostitute. And she came to me because she didn't even come to me for a consultation. We were Facebook friends first, and then she slid into my inbox and kind of vented to me. And from there, I started working with her. This young lady was considered bipolar, but she witnessed her father blow his brains out in front of her. I mean, she had some of it on her. She witnessed that. And that's just the start of, or one, not even the start, because I think her parents had a volatile relationship even before then. And I think she was 8 or 10 when this happened. And then after that, a form of abuse set in for her through neglect and gaslighting and things like that. And so I would like to say that her bipolarism was induced on her because after that traumatic situation, the way her mother responded raising her, I want to say did not help her recover from that first trauma. It only gave her more. I think that her mother was and so she was working with me to try to find a way to get to a healthy place because she was sick of being medicated. She was tired of it. She said she hated the way it made her feel. It made her feel like a zombie, and she was tired of feeling dead. She said, I feel dead. That's why I don't care if I die because I already feel dead. And absolutely by Capricorn, which is why I never call it a mental illness. Your mind is going to respond the way the rest of your body does. And usually it's responding the way your nervous system is telling it to do. Now, when you go through trauma, your nervous system is the one that takes over. It occurs the trauma, but your nervous system usually goes into fight or flight or one of the survival mechanisms. And it's going to tell your brain also. You're going to get mixed signals. It's going to be telling your brain one thing, your environment and you and the rest of the world may be telling you one thing, but because of its inability to cope, there is a miscommunication going in there, but your nervous system only knows hide yourself. So your nervous system will tell you yourself to hide. It'll tell you to hide. And then yourself finds a way to disassociate. It finds unhealthy ways to hide without your conscious awareness sometimes. So it's usually doing this on a subconscious level. And then one day you become aware of things going on inside of you that you feel like are natural to you or that you can't control. But there's been a whole process that happened to you in your subconsciousness and with your spirit, your inner man. And it's your nervous system that's telling your core persona to go and hide. It's not safe. It's not safe. Go and hide. And you guys split. You guys disassociate sometimes. And you guys can go back in and out of those various disassociations like a wave based on the chemicals in your body. the water, and all the other chemicals in your body. And that's where the medication comes in because it's another chemical that they give you to regulate the chemical imbalance in your body. But I believe, one second. Yes, yes, Kizzy. Yes, help yourself. But I believe that if you get to the root, you can kind of untangle all of those mixed wires that happen if you get to the root. And for me, the root is already the trauma, is always the trauma, the initial trauma. So when I was working with this girl, mind you, she was fighting to get off of meds and find a healthier alternative, but her mother wanted her to stay medicated. So her mother would go to her doctors and say things like, my daughter is X, Y, and Z. She's doing this, so that they can Baker Act her and force the medications into her. And I won't say that all of the people that I work with had her exact story, but they all had some similar trauma that most people don't experience. Baker Act isn't new. It may be new to people outside of Florida because it's a Florida law, and you guys might have just heard about it maybe with the Desiree Perez and her daughter case. But me being in Florida, Baker Act isn't new. It's not popular now. It's been around since I've been born. Welcome back, player from the Himalayas. So yeah, I think the Desiree Perez and Demore situation made more people outside of Florida aware of it. But um, I tried to have my uncle Baker acted because he was overdosing. He was high, he was overdosing, and he was tweaking out. And he has 10% of his heart functioning, and he had a machine in his heart. And when we went outside, because he was staying here, and my mom was here helping take care of him, go through withdrawal, and have that procedure. And I guess he got well enough, or he thought he was well enough to go take one more hit before he had to quit for good. And 3 days later, he's in the driveway. His face is swollen, unrecognizable. His eyes were like this big. They were puffy. I'd never seen it. He looked like a demon. He looked possessed. His jaw was. I'd never seen anybody look like that. I was scared. My mom was crying, breaking down, and he was raging. He was tweaking the fuck out. And all I know is the last time he tweaked out like this, coming in high off the streets, he assaulted me. He jumped on me, and I end up having to fight and tussle with my uncle. And this was again because my mother had just had surgery, and I was here looking after her. Anyways, I was thinking, I don't know what to do because he could die. He's been gone in the streets for 3 days, and all his meds are here. And he was like he would I was so scared. My mama was scared. So I called 911 and I asked if they could Baker Act him instead of sending the police because I didn't want them to take him to jail, but I wanted them to take him somewhere where he can get help. So I asked if they could Baker Act him or take him to the hospital. But I was like, please don't send the police and take my uncle to jail. Can y'all just take him somewhere? So the ambulance came, but they, if you are not physically threatening anyone else or a physical threat to yourself, they couldn't do anything with them. And so they were here for a long time, and they kept trying to work with them and asking, do you want us to take you to the hospital? But he was tweaking out. And first responders, they don't have the same patience and compassion for drug addicts, rightfully so. And so they was just like, ain't nothing we can do. Even the sheriff came and he was like, ain't nothing we can do. So I forgot even why I said that. Why was I even talking about addicts? Oh, Baker acting. Yeah, it's been around. It's been around. It no, it's okay by Capricorn. My uncle, I have my uncle back now. That was the last time. And I like I said, I think that for one, if it wasn't for his heart being 10%, he wouldn't have left that drug alone because he had been on it for 30 years. So he wouldn't have been able to. But they found out that his heart was 10%. He was dying. And he had to be clean for 90 days in order for them to give him that heart monitor. Because they ain't gonna give it to no addict. They don't help addicts like that. They wouldn't even let him stay at the hospital because he's an addict and he has a history. But I did some woo. I did some woo. Because I said, I ain't finna let my uncle die. Nope, not on my watch. And he got that machine and he's clean now. He's been clean since 2023. I think this happened in 2023. He's been good since then. So, JD, because he was finna die, that's it. That's it. He didn't have no choice. He had to be clean to get the heart monitor. His heart is probably at less than 10% now, but he thriving. He at work right now, and he's a mechanic. I would say I would give him props, but I can't give him the props for that because he might still be out there if it wasn't for him, his heart failing. And he had no choice and he didn't want to die. He's scared to die. He stayed here while he went through that surgery, but he was still withdrawing. What, 4 months off of dope for 30 years? No, he was still withdrawing. And it was the hardest couple of months in my life. Um, I let him take my room and I would sleep in here. And my room is on the other side of this wall. And all night long, I would hear him, help me, please. I'm scared. Jesus, no, no, no. I don't want to go. He wouldn't sleep. He'd be fighting in his sleep. He said he was fighting demons, but it would be nonstop all night. No. So the thing is, he'd be scared to go to sleep. For one, he said because of what he saw in his sleep. And two, because he said he didn't want to die. And he was scared if he went to sleep, he was going to die. And he probably was. So 3 to 10 days, shit. He was doing that. I don't know when it stopped because he was doing it up until the point where he wasn't here no more. After that event, he couldn't stay here anymore. I don't remember who took him in after that. The hospital. No, a relative. Somebody else. Somebody else took him in after that. But the hardest part was hearing him fight whatever he was fighting every night. So, and that was for almost a month that he was here doing that. So, yes, it was not, he was not going to kick that shit on his own because he had no reason to. He enjoyed it. He said, I enjoy it. I like it. And crackheads get the most favor. People do stuff, they give you, you get free stuff. People get that, you just get so much favor when you a crackhead. So I don't know where he wasn't finna let up. He was not finna let up. And my uncle is attractive. So he always had, excuse me, white women, he always had a white woman, another dope fiend, prostitute white woman, doing God knows what, and coming back to him. And coming back to him with whatever dope they got from their prostitution and doing it with him. So he was treated like a king in them crackhead streets, besides being a crackhead. I, no, sissy. Not Chris Brown is your favorite crackhead. I used to say crackheads live forever. They don't die unless they get hit by a car or something. Because they don't do like the new drugs, fentanyl, or unless they get some crack that's laced with some fentanyl. But the old school crackheads before they had fentanyl, when did you ever see or hear about them passing away? Where do they go? Where the fuck do they go? Because they just before fentanyl. I have to say this is BF before fentanyl. I never heard about them dying unless they got like hit by a car somewhere. But I used to be like, crackheads like roaches. They survive everything. They never die. So I don't know if they was my favorite people, but they sure had my respect. Cause how you get hit by a car and bounce back up? Like I saw that. My uncle did that. He did that. He got hit by a car at a gas station and he got up on that bike and pedaled that raggedy ass bike off like Holiday Heart. Had Wanda not died. That's a superpower. I'm sorry, but crack got when my uncle, my other uncle, they thought he was going to glory. I was like, shit, better do some crack. I don't know if they ever diagnosed me with something life threatening. I might do something. I might do something to bounce back real quick. I'm so serious. Not that new stuff. I'm gonna have to go find an old school crackhead. Let me get diagnosed with something and they be like, you got this amount of time to live. Mm-mm. No, that's heroin. Wait, how you do crack? Oh, you gotta light it, flick it. This my big crack pipe. Speaking of mental illness, I'm finna get to the reading in just 1 second. I got to redo the crack pipe though with my real lighter, cause I keep a lighter. It's a crack pipe with the water in the bottom. That was me tweaking. That was me tweaking after my first hit. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get to the reading because I did not mean to make fun of this, but I'm making fun of me. Not crack and not mental illness, just me. Unless you got a life threatening illness, Whitney. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I might have to put that to the test, Whitney. It's whack if you healthy, but if you dying, it might bring you back because crackheads don't die. Just make sure you don't get none of that new kind of crack with the fentanyl. Okay. And I'm in Florida. I don't know if fentanyl is as prevalent in your state, but in Florida, honey, that fentanyl is taking over the Caucasians. In Florida, because I know media likes to tell us in the media that the hood is where all the good drugs at. But I'm telling you, the hood, you can't find shit. You can't find shit because the police be on every corner. The fentanyl is taking over. They is taking all the whites in Florida. The fentanyl from North Florida to Central Florida. I don't think they fuck with it in South Florida. They still got that good coke. Okay, that party drug. But in Central to North Florida, everywhere except South Florida, the fentanyl is killing the Caucasians. Y'all got to get that stuff out before y'all don't have no more white power here in the Sunshine State. to keep DeSantis in the house. How y'all gonna keep him in the house? Oh, the Hispanics. My bad. That's why it got in there, because the fentanyl is killing all the Caucasians. The fentanyl killing all the Caucasians, and that's how Ted Cruz got in. I mean, DeSantis got in. Not saying I'm against them. I ain't being racist. I'm just saying Florida was not getting up off that other governor that was in the House since my childhood, until that fentanyl hit the streets. And then the Spanish people who don't fuck with fentanyl, they got a voice then. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. All right. Now, the weaponization of mental health. So, yes, I had to go down that rabbit hole because we talked about Baker acting, and Baker acting is a thing in Florida. But Demore Perez, Desiree's daughter, she lives in Florida. So that's why you guys became aware of it, because the Baker Act is a Florida thing. They liked heroin a lot too. They like that hard shit. I'm sorry, they like it hard. They like, just give me the worst drugs you got. I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't know how they don't be scared. They wasn't scared of meth. How the fuck y'all wasn't scared of meth? White people, please tell me, please. I just want to understand. How was y'all not scared? I'm scared to say the word meth. All right. So, yes, like I was saying, I believe that calling mental illness a mental illness is the first place that they get it wrong. It's almost saying you're not the way we would like for people to act. So, let's find a medication to make you normal. But I don't like normal. I don't know what that is. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some people with real issues that, you know, medications can't fix. I think everything has their place in moderation. But in the medical community, and most recently in entertainment, I believe that mental illnesses are being weaponized. And most recently, like I mentioned, in the case of Gucci Mane and Nicki Minaj. So I'm going to split this up into two parts of a reading. I could help her if she knew I existed. Not a darn thing, Rosetta. Except fentanyl and meth, we ain't doing that. It ain't that we scared of it. We just know better. Your grandmother was addicted to that boy for 20 years. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Did she succumb to it or did she kick it? Now, I've seen people kick that boy, but crack, they don't want to kick crack. I ain't never seen a crackhead want to. No, JD. I don't want the feds to be watching you say that. Well, all right. So I'm going to split this up and I'm going to look at Gucci Man again. And then I'm going to see if I'm not going to assert that there was any gaslighting and dog whistling going on in that Breakfast Club interview towards Nicki Minaj, but I will see. Good. Good, JD. You know, they might do that one little slip up. My uncle did one. That slip up almost took him out more than the 30 years of crack did. But oh, Keisha, okay. I was gonna say I don't want nobody sending no messages to your email talking about what you said about Rock Nation and you'll do what to us. And notice I said email because they be finding it. They be finding it. I done got I done got found a couple times, but they ain't threatened me. They asked. I done got found, but I was asked and told some things about Rich Homie Quan. Somebody asked me to read his baby mama specifically, um, and they said that they were close to the situation, I think, or they said something like they couldn't explain something. And I was like, well, I already did. I already did a reading. And then they disappeared. I've had somebody anonymously on here, though, so they didn't find me, but I know that they went and created a new profile just so that they can anonymously talk to me and tell me about how they like my platform. But Rock Nation or Desiree was getting people's pages copywritten and struck by having her thumbnail in there when I did that reading on her. So they be popping out sometimes. Well, we'll see, Maddie. All right, let me get to it. Sure, sissy, sure. Most High Mother and Father God, Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for never leaving or abandoning me. Even in the times where I feel like walking away from things just for the sake of having my own personal peace, you all always remind me that ain't nobody bigger than the program. And this is Death Row Records. And that I might be held against my will in these spiritual streets. But thank you for giving me the strength to endure. Even if I don't think I have it, I'm still here. So I must do. I ask that you'd anoint this message today because I don't want it to be more entertaining or more provocative between everybody's stands than it is vulnerable, transparent, and helpful. I would just like to be helpful today. I'm going to anoint myself because I feel very exposed in a way. And I want to make sure that I am a healthy vessel to deliver this message. I want to see clear. I want clear understanding. I want to be a glass teapot, not short, not stout, but a glass teapot. No holes, brand spanking new. It's clear, transparent, truthful. It's a worthy vessel. Oh, thank you for saying that my bra looks cute. It's a Juicy Couture. I think I got it at Burlington for like $9.99 for the bra and the panty. Actually, it was $12.99, and it was a set of these three bras. It's in this, a brown color, and like a pinkish color, and then they all come with the stomach controlling panty. But thank you. I am hot today. After I left the gym, I went down to my uncle and aunt's property so I can help them prepare it for listing photos. I have to go back tomorrow and finish. I came home. I had tons of work and paperwork and documents to prepare, pre-listing contracts and agreements to prepare, And then from there, I came and got on live. But I was frustrated today. And when I'm frustrated, I like to be very bare with you guys. Because when I am scantily clad, it's not for attractiveness, it's because I'm in my power. I have gathered up my personal goddess, divine feminine power, and I feel strong. I feel impenetrable. And when I feel the strongest and the most bold, I wear the least clothes. I don't want to cuddle with you, Freddie. Do I look like a cuddly ass bitch to you? Not in this moment. It's Cali Ma today. It's Urzuli Dantor instead of Urzuli Frida. It is Oya today instead of Oshun. Okay? These are not dreads. I could tell your caucasity is showing because these are called box braids. And because my new growth is growing out, well, they're starting to look old. But Timu, ho you wish. And I did them myself. You can't do nothing yourself, not even bathe. Anyways, cha, cha. I wish I would let a vagabond insult me when I'm sitting here looking all goddessy. Don't I look like the sun and the moon had a baby? Dark and light makes brown. Bitch, I look like the sun, the moon, and the earth. Just earth toned all over. You probably look like Casper, the friendly ghost. You probably look as transparent as I just asked the spirits to make me. And that's no shade unless you're coming for me. I'm gonna call my braids Timu braids. Bitch, this is culture. Go brush your fur. Anyways, Most High Mother and Father God, get your churn. God say, ain't my baby. I ain't the pappy. My spirit say, we gave them up for adoption. We never claimed them. We didn't even sign the certificate. That's why they vagabonds. No kids of mine. Not with that recessive ass. Anyways, Rosetta, I just be like, how you hating and you can't even stay outside? You know what your parents, Timu, I know you gone, but you know what your parents never did? Told your ass to go outside and play and they locked you outside. You want to know why they never did that to you? Because it do you more harm than good. But you know what happened to me? I was locked out all day. You know what the fuck that did to me? Boosted my immune system and get sick for shit as a child. Why? Because I was locked outside for hours in the sun. Might have been dying of dehydration and heat stroke. But you know what wasn't happening? My skin wasn't slithering off, bitch. Anyways, and that's not for all of you less melanated people. That's only for you who come in here and try to have your little moment to clock something and then find out I'm Flavor Flav. Don't come in here and try to clock me and find out that I'm motherfucking Flavor Flav. I'm gonna tell you to come down and get your clock and your champagne glass. I'm gonna tell you to come down so I can give you your clock. What y'all think this is? Anyways, Flavor Flav. You can't insult a bitch who make herself laugh with her own jokes. I mean, my God, I only entertain the trolls so that I can get a good giggle. I would ignore them, but some of them just we all deserve to have a good giggle, don't we? We've had a long day. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's 6 o'clock. Everybody just getting off of work. Some of y'all food stamps is in jeopardy. The least I can do is clown a troll for all of us. I ain't gonna never be able to drink out this cup again because every time I do it, I'm gonna wanna light this bitch up on the bottom. Whoop, ooh, 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 ooh. You know me and the Busted Babies always gotta have an inside joke, so that's the inside joke for the week. Every time y'all see me with this cup and a lighter, y'all know I'm finna start tweaking. And this is nothing but blackberry lemonade from Publix. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, the soul, and the collective energy of the rapper Gucci Man and no, just Gucci. Mm. My spirit said, talk to his wife this time. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Keisha Kaor. That is the stage name she gives us. She is the wife to the rapper Gucci Man. Gucci Mane. I'm sorry. Spirit, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Keisha Kaor Davis. Keisha Davis. I was trying to conjure up his last name because I don't want to call her last name Kaor. I knew his last name was something simple. Keisha Davis, the wife of the rapper Gucci Mane. What is his name? Frederick Broderick something Drick Davis. Anyways, Keisha. I hear all kinds of patois in my mind. I feel like her and her Jamaican friends are on the phone chatting down like barnyard hens about all this Nicki Minaj stuff. You want to know? I think that really rubbed her the wrong way when Nicki Minaj said or explained, because I did see Nicki Minaj post some of her photos and then some of Keisha's photos when saying how Keisha tried to be like her. Why do I feel like that insulted her? Roderick, that it is. Thank you. Why do I feel like that has got her going more than anything? And y'all should talking about telling me how blood clot wanna look like her. Me don't wanna look like her. Me look better than her. Me this than her. My waist smaller than her. My breast small. My panty size smaller than her. My This is what I hear in my mind. That's what I hear. And then I hear other Jamaican female voices also just, that's the energy that I feel in my mind. Witchcraft on Nikki, she probably did. And at this point, don't nobody need to be scared of any more witchcraft done against Nikki. If it didn't do what needed to be done by now, it won't do. Now I'm telling y'all, I know a man. I know a man. I know a man. But I'll never give up his name. The man I shared with y'all wanted to marry me. Again, he likes to be anonymous and he does not care for celebrities. He doesn't respect them. He does not care. He's actually mean. He probably prefers his political clients, not the black ones either. He comes from the golden dawn back when it was still and active and fully functioning. And maybe it is now, but he comes from the old school orders. He could do it. And by do it, I mean if all these people are throwing various witchcrafts against Nicki Minaj and she's still alive, not saying that they should be working to that, but if everybody that's experienced is doing woo on you, somebody should have done all of that woo should have done enough to weaken your immune system. She should have had a disease by now, a car accident by now, cancer or something that she can't get rid of. I have seen somebody be wooed so much that it took them out eventually. If they ain't did that, then she shouldn't be scared about nobody else unless somebody find this man I know, and he wouldn't do it. Want to know why? Because he want to fuck the shit out of Nicki Minaj. He would never. He would never do it. Mm-mm. Instead, he'd go to her and be like, I don't want much in life. Just this, and this. And all right. Oh no, they could listen. Mm-mm. Some of y'all be coming to me to do stuff, and I'd be like, "Here, we're not gonna do that. There's another way." No, 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 no. Y'all have to know by now that I have integrity. Mm-mm. And I only do dark stuff for justice. So I wouldn't let nobody else do it for any other reason. If she ain't do nothing to you, then why would I help you do something to her? And then if they say, well, she did, well, what was it? Tell me what it was. And then I'd probably be like, well, bitch, why? I'm not one of them by Capricorn. I have a responsibility. Mm-mm. I don't care about all this stuff these other woo people think about. They doing this shit to get rich. No, 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 no. I could have done a lot of things. I could have sacrificed people too. You think I don't have the opportunity? You think I don't know how to do that myself? You think I don't know how to do those rituals by myself? I could. I could take the fast route, right, like everybody else. I could make hundreds of thousands of dollars throwing hexes and curses for celebrities. I have a responsibility. Mm-mm. And my goal in this life is not to accumulate a bunch of materialistic stuff. I need to be able to tell myself, good job, Dina, when I leave my body. That is all I'm working towards right now. That's it. So I can't be bought. I told y'all that a long time ago. They wouldn't accept me into the Illuminati. They will check you out first to see if they'll use one of their readers to look at you and be like, don't fuck with her. She ain't built like that. I would never. I can't. I'm gonna spend the money. The money gonna be gone. No matter how much money it is, it's going to go. It's gonna go. Then what am I gonna do when the money is gone and I'm only left with myself and my mortality and my immortality? Everything I've been trained and prepared for as a medium, all the conversations I've had with spirits when I was a child before I knew anything about being a medium, the things that they told me about myself, about my life, about my reward for this life because I've endured and had to endure a lot. And I still keep my grace, my virtues. My reward is that I will not come back here. And I said, because of you being gracious to me, I will give up my ghost. I won't try to stay longer than my purpose. I live a purposeful life. So, no, no. And I don't agree with what they're doing to Nicki Minaj. I didn't agree with them doing a funeral service. making an obituary and getting on stage, all of those OG, well respected rappers, that's a ritual in itself. I make obituaries and hold funerals for people when I do certain rituals, when I'm fucking them up. So no, 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 because I don't think she came out and did things to people other than excelled and made enemies. And I relate to that. I make enemies because I excel. Every single thing is, if you make it your intention to do so. And when two or more are gathered together with the same intention, you create a ritual, whether you think you are or not. We're all magicians. Most of us are just more aware that we are and more experienced in being intentional. So now I think that these are a bunch of bullies, and I don't bully. I'd be more inclined to help her. Just, I don't want to stay too long though, because she, mm-mm. I can't handle Nikki cussing, not cussing me out, but she's a queen. I'm a queen. I can't work for another queen like that, like that. So I'll help her out a little bit, but yeah, I don't jive with that anyways. But no, I would never give him up because he doesn't want that. And he has rich and wealthy clients. If you got enough clout, you might know who he is too. But they ain't got enough clout to know him because he don't care about celebrity. He values spiritual people more. So I'm more of a celebrity to him than any celebrity that would come to him and offer them money. He'd rather have my hand in marriage because I would enhance his work. All right. Keisha Davis, Gucci Mane's wife. I want you to talk to me, Keisha, about Gucci Mane's schizophrenia. When did you come to know that Gucci Mane had a mental illness? One that he was born with. Were you ever concerned about your children that you bear with him having it too? Did that never cross your mind for a reason? Keisha Kaor, talk to me about Gucci Mane's mental illness. I'd like to hear it from you. Since you spoke up for him on this interview talking about mental illness, then I'd like to hear it from you now. Excuse me. Keisha Davis, Keisha Kaor Davis. Speak to me about Gucci Mane's schizophrenia and how you handle it, how you handle him, and what will be the outcome for you guys. See this bandage here? Kenzie, I'm sorry I can't keep you company, but I'm busy. Are you hungry? Okay, if you are, it's chicken in the microwave and stir fry on the stove. Okay, I text your mama and I told her I'm busy, so I can't come out, but okay. I always got the kids. It's my cousin's daughter. My cousin's she's a boss. She something over at FedEx, and then she's also in nursing school, and she's a single mom. So she needs her village to chip in and get her kids on some days when she has clinicals. And this was one of those days. Actually, my mom picked her up and dropped her off over here. I picked her up yesterday, but village, village strong. Anyways, Ooh, see, this is what I was talking about. Y'all mamas, when y'all be throwing y'all legs to the moon, check in with your village first and make sure it's a good time for you to be getting skeeted in. Make sure the village is a good time for all of us. Listen, when it comes to support, we do not play. We do not play. No one is left behind here. With that is where I will big up my family. Might have grown up real cultish when it came to Christianity. It wasn't just churchy, it was cultish, but nobody will ever be able to say, hey, y'all, I need, and be turned away without getting that need fulfilled. And yes, my cousin is not my cousin, I call her my sister, because their mom passed away, my Aunt Queen. She's the only of my mom's siblings that passed away. And so that was a shock. And then their eldest sister passed away 2 years after that to the date. I shared that with you guys. And so now my mama is their mama, and I'm the new Tiki. That was a sister that passed away. She was also the cousin that molested me, and I shared that with you guys. But I'm the new sister, my mama the new mama. So yes, Sissy, you're already adopted. What do you need? You can cook good because everybody else around here can cook, and we pitch in when it's time to cook. So everybody make a dish. Oh, and you African too, Sissy? Yeah, bring your ass on. Bring your ass on, because I just ordered some suya seasoning. And I need to learn how to make jollof and a few other dishes. Everybody wants to be under me. That's a fun fact, though, but everybody does. Everybody like being up under me for some reason. I shared a picture on my Instagram of me cuddling my cousin. Now, the picture that I was cuddling, that isn't Kenzie's mom, but that's Kenzie's mom's sister. And she wasn't feeling well. She had some stomach virus. Huh? Yeah, okay. See you later. She wasn't feeling good. And so after we came over there and cooked, we cooked oxtails, rice and peas, seafood, salad, and all this other shit. And we was a little tipsy and full. I cuddled right up next to her, threw my arm around her. I had my leg around her too, but I moved it so I can get comfortable. But I'm going to spoon the hell up at you. And you going to feel good afterwards, because she woke up and asked for a sip of my liquor. She couldn't before. And then the next day she was like, I must just needed the food and the company and the vibes because I feel amazing. And I said, no, honey. That was me throwing my leg across you. All right. This is what they say his mental illness is. However, my mental illness card is usually the moon. The moon is bipolar schizophrenia. This bandage means you were hit, you fell, you were injured. Because it's still not even healed. It's still a little stained with blood. You see the brown there? That brownish color there? It's still not healed. It is my opinion that Gucci Mane was not born with any mental health diseases. I believe that this one was induced. He may have, I don't want to call it a lobotomy, but something was done to him. Electromagnetic therapy, that's what they called it back then, but who knows now that technology has evolved what it's being called now. I'm saying it's some form of that had to be done. When I say they're going to zap a person, I mean in my mind, because the last thing I heard of was electromagnetic therapy, where they stick things to your brain and zap the shit out of you. Shock therapy, it could be another type of therapy now that therapy and technology has evolved, but it's something like that. And it's not something that he can heal from because it was something induced. And if he's given medications for it, then he's not ever going to heal. And I don't think that the desire was to heal him because I don't think anything was wrong with him. I think something was given to him to be wrong with him. And I think that his state is maintained. The Nine of Wands is called perseverance. This person is maintaining their position despite all these other wands. So I think that his condition is maintained, not treated. It's maintained. I think that okay. The challenge is this happened for him. Now look, they're holding like a document, some blueprints or something that he probably created and gave to them as they're the apprentice, and he's explaining how we're going to build this thing here. And they're probably asking questions about the blueprint, and he's explaining. This here would be that series of tweets that Gucci Mane let off. Because he was explaining how the system inside of the industry works, just exposing a lot of shit in a lot of people. And it's my belief that what he was saying was true, but you're not allowed to expose the system, especially those who the system implants as their mainstays. You can't talk about certain people that are mainstays in the system. And this can also be the doctor. This could be Gucci. This could be his wife. The woman here is the one holding the document. The man here, you can't see his face that well, but there's a look of confusion a little bit on his face, like he doesn't get it. The wife, the woman is looking and listening intently. Imagine Gucci going to his doctor's appointments and he's just this loopy, zoned out. All he knows is I got schizophrenia. Because when he came out of that treatment center when he was locked up, I'm sure he couldn't remember shit or too many details other than what they gave him to remember. They probably let him continue to remember that tweet series because they need him to remember that you did that because you have a mental illness. Now, the woman here, she holds the document and she doesn't look confused. She looks intently. So this would be not just the doctor, but the doctors are a part of the cabal because this is a Mason here. He's even wearing the apron. Master builder. 3, you see that there? Here? Master builder. Mm-hmm. The wife is most likely the one in charge of handling him. He looks confused. He's wearing a dull gray. He has no life, no personality, just a vessel, empty. She's wearing red. Lady in red. He also has that Jewish cap on his head. But this is 2 cards that we have a man's head. This could be the same man because he has dark hair. He has dark hair. He has something on his head that actually makes his head look bald and bare in the middle, but it's actually a cap. But depending on how you look at it, it could be a big bald spot that was possibly cut out to do some sort of surgery or something. Something on his head here, something on his head here, and the facial expressions aren't that different. To summarize, in my opinion, Keisha's spirit is saying, yeah, well, he got zapped, and then they called me in to figure out how to keep him. This would be a doctor. Doctors come up to me as King of Cups. So present and challenging is him presently maintaining whatever was done to him. The challenge is that, well, I don't think that he was born with it. This should have been a page or something to show me that it's been a challenge since his childhood. But no, the challenge is maintaining it and everybody working together. What led to this is a doctor. In the past, the general public is dumb. I've been wanting to say that for so long, but I've been trying not to hurt y'all feelings. Idiots. I don't care about you guys' feelings anymore once I found out that some of you don't mind trying to steal from me. Idiots. Bumbaras clad idiot. Look at y'all just soaking it right on up. And truthfully, y'all here for the bullshit. Not y'all, but everybody's just here for the bullshit. And the world would love to ride for or against Nicki Minaj. People like believing the narratives about Nicki Minaj. And if people are not as tapped in to the way this shit works, then it would come across like she's having an episode. Because Gucci Mane and Keisha have been the poster children for what it looks like when a celebrity is having an episode, which is why they chose Gucci and Keisha to come up there. I'm actually curious to know when they decided to bring them up there. And I'm going to ask, because if it was anywhere within the past several days, if it wasn't a year, 3, 4 months prior to then, I'm going to say that they brought this in order to introduce this narrative to the general population the way media does. Media is made to program you. So we'll have a heartfelt conversation about mental health because that's something that all people can agree on. We'll let Gucci Mane, because he's the last person besides Kanye to do this rant, but he's the only one who owns him being zapped. Kanye is going to say, Kanye has said that they did things to him, forced him to take medications. Nicki Minaj says nothing's wrong with me. Gucci Mane, yeah, ooh, colors, ooh. And then Keisha has to say, Gucci, Burr. And so there are ways to insinuate things into your subconscious. She got to slip him one of them little pills, and then he'll, oh, yes, I'm Roderick Davis. Other than that, Gucci, wake up. Brr! And the general public is under a similar spell, brainwashed. Look, how else can you be in this state, in the state of today? This is them soaking it all up. This came up for Nicki Minaj's fans the other day when I read her. This was in her near future. Now it's in Keisha's near future. And I was saying that Nicki Minaj would have to rely on her fan base. And she has been. She's even bringing back Queen Radio tonight. I said all she really have right now was her fans. And that's true. Keisha is up against the Barbs and she's being clogged. Tasha K being one of them, because Tasha K has been um, talking about all day, talking about Keisha Kayor not being a licensed mental health therapist and charging people $500s to talk. Or she, as Keisha says, she only listens. If y'all paying Gucci Man's wife $500 to listen to her, I will raise my prices for my constant consultations. Let me find out any one of my busted babies is paying Keisha Kayor $500 for a consultation for therapy, and I'm raising my consultation prices to $1,000. And I do have clients who can afford it. So I won't bat an eye. I won't bat an eye at those who cannot. Because, I mean, if y'all got money to bun like that, then you might as well motherfucking run it. At least I'm going to tell you something, bitch. At least I'm going to say something. Y'all, who is paying this lady to listen in patois? Child, child. Then let me charge you so I can judge you in Southern Negro. She'll be dealing with Nicki Minaj's fans, but she'll also be supported by the people who suck all this programming stuff up. Your dreams are interesting, Keisha. Crowning the Four of Wands in reverse. Now, this is the Breakfast Club inviting them to the show. Keisha did most of the talking because, for one, Gucci Mane does not like them. I'm just bullshit, Miss Carol. I know y'all would, but I'm just saying, man, if people in the world is paying, now I'm not talking about y'all, but if y'all is, don't let me find out, because the next time you hit me up for a consultation and try to shoot me your little coin, I'm going to shoot it right back. And then I'm going to request $1,000. And then when you say, huh, I thought it was such and such, I'm going to just send you a picture of Keisha Kayor. And then that's just gonna be that's gonna be the fucking end. Either you gonna send it or I'm gonna go to sleep. I don't think Gucci Mane likes them, and I don't think they care for him either. And I don't think they wouldn't have had him on his show if it wasn't for a specific reason. Because this Four of Wands is in reverse. So these people who usually seem welcoming because they want you there, you're there, but they're not so welcoming. Flipped upside down. The next card is going to show us why this interview happened. Am I the drama? Look at them trying to covertly with their swords down. Defeat. This card is called defeat. This person won the battle, but not in a victorious way. They did it by cheating these out of a fair fight. None of these men look completely defeated, but you can tell they kind of are. And something about it wasn't fair. They don't even look like they fought. They didn't get into a good fight because this one came and stole their weapons. So it's defeat. But would it be defeat if the person that won wasn't using manipulation? And these people probably seem more upset that didn't get a chance to really fight, that this person outsmarted them, and that's why the fight is over. But he's holding everybody's weapons. Manipulation tactics is why they were there, to defeat someone, but not by an outright battle, not by stating what their thoughts and opinions on her were and then letting her respond, not by inviting her there. No. I remember Nicki Minaj saying, "You can only beat me if you cheat. If you play fair, I'm going to win," or something like that. This is the defeating you by cheating. But in reverse, if you're not paying attention, you won't even really know that that's what's going on. Because reverse fives are supposed to look like peace after chaos or drama. But it wasn't peace. They just shrouded it in a topic that they felt like most people would be able to get behind and support. So it's kind of just like, no, I wasn't talking about you. I was just saying that we should all start paying attention more to the toothpaste we use. I wasn't trying to say that your breath was stank, even though you're the only one talking. And then out of the blue, I just came up saying, you know what? Dental health and dental hygiene is very important. You want some gum? That would be a person trying to tell you that your breath is deadly. But no, I wasn't trying to say that. I was just, saying that dental hygiene is important. And then I thought, oh, I got gum in my pocket. So I thought to ask you for some. Now, when the person says, bitch, was you trying to be funny and trying to say my breath stank? When that person has the opportunity to say, I didn't want to be mean. But no, they gaslight you. Here you go again, being paranoid. Always think somebody coming for you. Why you do that? You need help, you need therapy. You got mental health issues. I mean, if I felt that way, I would have just said it. That's what this is. The problem is idiots don't see it like that. But when it happened to them, we all quick to catch somebody shading us. So that's why I say idiots. This kind of stuff isn't really hard to see, and I am not a barb. I say all the time, I'm not a barb, even though I like Nicki Minaj's music, some of it. I am too old to be a stan. Stan culture came out or became a thing after I was already too old to stand somebody. So that's why I say I'm not a barb, and because I'm not a fan of all of her catalog. I like when she raps, not when she pops, not when she does pop, when she is spitting hardcore rap. And I don't think she does that too often anymore, where it's just straight bars. So that's what I like, though, because I come from the lyrical generation of music where if you were a rapper, that you had to have lyrics. If you were a singer, you had to be able to sing. I understand, sissy. I stand you guys though. I stand the Busted Babies, and I kind of stand the Barbs because they have the industry shook. I did a reading before with no cards, and I told you guys the whole industry, a class could be taught, a collegiate class could be taught on the power of the Barbs. Y'all blew the that's my favorite song off of her recent project, Barbie Dangerous, because it was the most lyrical to me. But um, y'all definitely have the industry shook more than they scared of her. They scared of y'all. So the industry, in my opinion, has also found ways to infiltrate and try to sabotage the Barb community by giving platforms to people that look like Barbs or that's Trojan horses. I know some. I've seen some on YouTube, but I won't call them out because that ain't my job. I don't think I've seen Trojan horses for anybody else or anybody that pretends to be a fan of someone, but then you can tell they're not. I haven't seen it for anybody else. So, yeah. All right. Currently, Keisha, this is a conversation or a back and forth that I don't think that Keisha wants to go into directly, because I don't think that she wants conversations about Gucci's medical situation to continue. I actually think that her response was a dog whistle, but I don't think that she wants to actively engage. For one, the Barbs are on her ass. Two, there is too much that could be said. This stuff always has loose ends, and they're dangling. Anybody can just take it, pull it, and unravel the whole charade. And so she's not going to talk or get too into the back and forth of things, because I don't think she wants people to go publicly in depth about something concerning medical stuff. Now, this is her also not wanting to be clocked for not being a licensed therapist. You see, this would be Keisha, and then this would be the client. I believe she does talk back to them. She's saying she doesn't because she don't want to get sued, and anybody would do that. Job well done, Breakfast Club. Job well done. Also, this is also the few people who are writing for Nicki Minaj. So you have Nicki Minaj, Tasha K, and then someone else with a platform that also isn't going to let certain things slide. Breakfast Club, though, I believe this was a setup. I still don't have the moon card anywhere. That anytime I read someone with a genuine, meaning they didn't go to the doctor and get zapped, they have been thrown off. The moon, always the moon, the moon, the moon. It will come up somewhere. I'm still not at my outcome, but I should have had it already in the foundational cards. Actually, it should have been in the past position instead of the doctor. I also could have the King of Swords in reverse as a mental issue with Gucci Mane. I could have the King of Cups in reverse for someone with bipolar disease. Oh, that's who it is. Academics, yes. Tasha, Nikki herself, academics, yes. Hopes and fears, Three of Swords. There's always the concern that more damaging information can come out. Outcome. Tower in reverse. She won't be, they won't be, her and her husband won't be wholly exposed. Meaning nobody's going to say when Gucci Mane went to prison, somebody zapped him and then made Keisha his handler. But the conversation is already happening and it will stick. Will it be proven? Probably not. But will it stick and follow them as if it were true? Yes. Their tower will fall, but not completely because it already fell a long time ago. This is a tower that isn't really real, so it can't crumble. For instance, Gucci Mane would have been forgotten about a long time ago. It's not like he was that skilled of a lyricist. It's not like his music is well, classic to me. It is some of it. His early music before he got zapped, absolutely. But mainstream wise, it's not. Burr. But they were given another chance, another platform. That label, they make so much money off of those people that die and go to jail. If you don't die and they can't cash in on your life insurance policy, you end up in the prison pipeline. And people get paid every time a body is in prison. And so, yes, they were given a label, given a new platform, and a zapped rapper and leader of that platform and a handler to not just continue making Gucci the poster face for life insurance and prison pipelines, but I think a barb, that must not have been a barb because a barb wouldn't trigger academic to remember to come for Nikki when he is supporting her. That has to be a fake barb. What barb who sees an old Nicki Minaj op turning around and saying, no, I support her, wants to remind him of the time she insulted him? I don't think that was a real barb. The real barbs that I see, they support anybody support Nicki Minaj. And if they don't like you, they'll still hold off that hate until further notice so that you can finish supporting Nicki Minaj. Listen, y'all got to find somebody who don't read everything. The cards are for fun. Reading just off the strength of energy is my favorite. I mean, straight men need love too. Real, I know how y'all barbs move. Y'all will put y'all feelings to the side for the cause, and the cause is always the benefit of Nicki Minaj. I've seen y'all do it before. And that's why he's doing it, JD. If her enemy was anybody else, he might not have done it. But because they share the same enemy and that enemy is a really strong tyrant right now, he's going to support Nicki Minaj for coming for them because he won't do it himself. But she's doing it guns blazing. So he's going to support her because she's doing something that he supports. These people are the real industry plants, in my opinion. Don't really belong. Why are they still relevant? How many rappers do we know that are more talented than Gucci Mane? more influential than Gucci Mane, but are not still relevant. How the hell does he still have a label when they don't have no artists making any money, when Gucci isn't making any money? Who's keeping them afloat? Whom? Whom? To whom does it concern? Yes, sissy, I agree. I agree. Industry platinum. Industry platinum. Yes. Gaby's in that chair, but I'm going to be quiet about it because this ain't about academics. Y'all know if y'all get me started on that bottom feeder, I might not let up, and I'm not here for that. The tower reverse. They won't get wholly exposed because they were planted here. So, but the people, the streets get it. If you're not like a super invested into the beef, then you'll get it. I see a suit. Last time I read if Nicki was going to really release that album, this was the outcome. And for some reason in my spirit, I still couldn't pinpoint whether she would or wouldn't. And then she came out and then said she wasn't. And then I guess she took it back. So nobody ever asked me to read if she gonna release that album again because ain't nobody got time for that shit. But what I did pick up on is she didn't even know because I couldn't tell. And she couldn't tell at the time. It's going to be a challenge though because she's got legal stuff going on. I don't know if the WAPs are going to try to sue her in some way, cease and desist or something. These people aren't going anywhere though. Like, I know that she has the tea. She said Gucci was sedated and Keisha keeps him that way. She could probably go deeper into detail, but she's not going to do that, I don't think. I see some law situation here. I wonder if they're going to try to, I see Kanye here. Here he is. Nicki Minaj, Kanye. They're definitely going to continue the mental conversations. Kanye ain't going to make the situation better. Not for Nicki Minaj. If Kanye's talking, then everybody's going to be like, oh my God, all the unhealthy people are outside. I see. Here he is. Gemini. It's in the outcome, so that means it's probably happening now, and I can't see it because I'm reading it, but here he is talking. And look, there's something on his head too. Problem is, they can't keep Kanye in one state. So Kanye goes into modes, but he can get out because I don't think he takes his medication. So he doesn't stay sedated. It's like he fights through the damage that was done to him. But he doesn't fight it with meds, I don't think. He tries to fight it with being present, remembering himself. He's fighting it the hard way. He has court on the 31st. Okay. Well, I see Tasha K, and they got their eyes on her too, because she's the mouthpiece. Nicki knew that the media wasn't going to, like, not the blogs that matter. She felt like they would be unbiased when she goes on these rants and they would only post what the ops say and make her look crazy. So I think she tagged Tasha K in to be her mouthpiece against all the other biased media sources. Tasha K been hated. That's another reason she probably tapped her. Let's see, Tasha, Queen of Cups, putting stuff out there. King of Swords, Kanye, a ruined relationship, or getting in between a relationship. Handler. Wonder if, what is Kanye saying? Because I wonder if he's triggered by the handler situation, knowing how it seems as though Keisha is Gucci's handler, and he had one too. She does get the views. Breakfast Club. That's a shame. That is a shame. It seems that Charlemagne, the men up at the Breakfast Club, are agents of taking down. When it's time to go against somebody in the industry, the Breakfast Club is one of the ones who champion the cause. When somebody's ousted from the industry, these men, because the emperor is the culmination of all the kings, like the empress is the culmination of all the queens, these men, men start doing dog whistles. Here's a trumpet, but it's in reverse though. So it's a dog whistle to get people aroused, but in a covert reverse way, not outwardly. Child, anyway, so now let me see this from Nicki Minaj's perspective. I'd like to see if she has any medical conditions. From reading Keisha Kayor, I don't think she does, but I only read Keisha and how she is relating to Gucci Mane's. So to wrap up Keisha and Gucci, I don't think he was born with anything. I think when he went to prison, he got zapped. He got fixed. And then they gave her the medical rundown on how to keep him fixed. I also think that she knows he's zapped. I also believe that she uses woo on him. I remember early in her days, she talked about bathing him because she just likes to take care of her man. So she likes to bathe him. And the first thing I thought was, last time I bathed a man, it was to cleanse him. It was a client and I was cleansing him. But I know what baths mean. And bitch, you can do a love spell bath too. Yeah, but not you. Now watch me. Swallowed. Swallow everything but you, baby. I swallow a knife or I swallow you. Because I don't like thirsty men or whatever you are. That's the quickest way to get ignored, even if I wanted to take you serious. Be thirsty for nothing. I like big boss energy. You got to be a man, man. Come on now, you got to be a god. I'm starting to think I can only date initiates because you niggas is weak. You don't even know how to talk to a goddess. Do I swallow? Man, that's the quickest way to dry my throat. I can't stand thirst. I like big boss hog energy. Come on now. You got to be confident in yourself, confident enough to make me swoon. Can you make me swoon? Just off your big boss hog energy? No, you can't. Find you a nice girl to settle down with and have some babies with her, I guess, and then try to boss her around because you're the man or something. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, all right, Nicki Minaj. Let me take a look and see if Nicki Minaj has any real. I'm only saying mental health because I don't have a word to call what I want to say emotional health. Spiritual health, I'm going to call it, because I feel like the spirit man is wounded. That's why the medicine can't do anything but sedate. Spirit, does Nicki Minaj, oh, wait, let me call her up. Please allow me to conjure up the spirit. So I need my bell for her energy because, like I said, I almost don't even want to read her, Megan and Cardi anymore because they got so much. This is probably see through, and I'm probably flashing y'all. What did y'all see? What color is my drug? Oh, Lord. Okay, well, if y'all did, oh well. If you didn't, good. All right, let me bail this so I can raise the vibration in here a little bit. If you're rebuking me, you have to learn how to spell. Jessica rebuke, conjure nothing. I don't know what that means, but come back when you get that dyslexia or whatever they call it figured out. I don't know. I hope no idiots come here. I don't judge people, but fun fact, I'm not that fond of stupid people. I get that from my father and my grandmother. And my grandmother absolutely called people stupid to their face. Actually, she would say, she would genuinely, are you stupid? She'd be trying to figure it out. My daddy, though, he feels like nobody is smarter than him. I just feel like now that it's passed down to me, I just feel like I don't feel like nobody is smarter than me. And I'm not perplexed about people being stupid. I just feel like people are declining in intelligence. I just think people are declining in intelligence at a rapid pace, and I think that it's on a mass scale. What did Martina Stokes say? I didn't see it. Whatever it is, it pissed Sissy off. Did she say something about me or Nikki? Because if you said shut the F up, she must have said something about Nikki. Anyways. All right, Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Onika Tanya Mirage Petty for JD. Oh, they said something about me? Oh, well, that's okay. They can say a lot of stuff, but they can't say certain things. They can't call me wrong. They can't call me a lie. Can't call me broke. And can't call me ugly. Can't call me unhealthy. Can't call me unloved. So I'm okay. Did I say can't call me broke too? I said that. Oh. Rosetta, is that a new floating heart? Oh my goodness. Rosetta, you are generous today. All right. Can't say I got bad kitty cat either. It's just so many things you can't say. So the little things that they can, I let them have it. Everybody's got to have a little fun. Why would I take away their fun? It's a lot of things they can never say about me. And now, thanks to you guys, they can't say shit. So it's okay. It's always Big Dina, not the little one. Onika Tanya Mirage Petty for JD. Nikki, Nikki, Nikki. I am having a heat flash when I call her up. Nikki. Shh. Just like I told my uncle today when he was having one of his episodes and I was trying to pull the pain out of his lower back. So when I got to his lower back and I felt that big ball of pain and I was pulling it out, I got this one clump. There's a certain way you got to pull it out. So I told him to take a deep breath. Then when he exhaled, I pulled that and he said, "Whoa, what was that?" I said, "I don't know. What do you feel?" He said, "The pain just left." As soon as he said that, I took it and I tossed it to the side because it was still in my hand when he said it. Nikki, if I were in front of her, if I were on retainer to get her through these hard times, I would come and I would put one hand on her back, one hand on her chest. Then I'd tell her to take a deep breath in and blow out. And then I apply a little bit of pressure to both. And then I'd have her do it again. But then I'd do it to her lower back and her belly. One at the top of her back and her chest, one at the lower back and the belly. And I'd do it again. And she'd feel a little better. But I can't. So there was that. All right. Nicki Minaj, do you have any biological mental health disorders? Mental, spiritual health disorders, meaning bipolar, schizophrenia, and whatever else sits on the spectrum of westernized mental health disorders. Were you born with any that are manifesting themselves in an uncontrolled way now? Are you having an episode, Nicki Minaj, of some sort of mental health issue? Presently, she's being kicked out of the industry. The whole industry is against her. Hey, Rosia. The whole industry is against her. So, off rip, my question was, were you born with any mental health issues? Well, I did get being, ganged up on by the industry, being ousted. Remember, I just saw this in when I clarified the Breakfast Club, and I said when people are being kicked out of the industry, they use them to lead the charge. And here it is in Nikki's present position. The thing is, it's crumbling with her. Now, I said before, I didn't think that she was going to release anymore. And so I said she's going to burn that bitch down on her way out. If she's the queen, ain't going to be no throne afterwards. She said, I'll take the throne with me. I'll burn it. Ain't nobody going to sit on it. So I feel like she's against the industry and they're against her. Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles in reverse. This would be her husband. The challenge is, I think, well, for one, there were rumors about her husband stealing from her. And I believe Keisha Kayor insinuated that Nikki needs a handler like Gucci. So the challenge is that the industry is trying to push for somebody to think that Nicki Minaj needs a conservator or a handler. I don't think her husband is going to do that, though. I don't think he finds any value in the industry or any of its shenanigans. But I do believe that that's what they want. In the past, Nicki Minaj did a lot of exposing things that she knew to be true to her. deceit, sneakiness, lies, and things like that. She felt like she exposed what she's been holding on to. I think she didn't expose because she was still trying to find a way to work in the industry. Something happened though to all that sabotage on her last album and tour. All these pentacles. Nicki Minaj is about to drop some form of tangible receipt. I know she's doing a Queen radio, so I am going to not do a members live because of the bulk of barbs that I have that are members. It would make no sense to do it with because they ain't gonna be there. I'm gonna wrap this up soon too because they gonna check out on me for that Queen radio. And so the prescription, the food, I think really did it for her when she was sent somebody. Okay. So she's going to go and start presenting some more receipts of some sort, some more tea or evidence as it relates to her. I know y'all is, and I thought about that when I did this live tonight. So I said you can't do too much tonight, Dina, because half your viewers, you know what I'm saying, they gonna leave your ass. Pentacles, look at everything's a pentacle, but the past position. So she's getting kicked out of the industry. And all of this because, well, she started exposing, speaking out about things. And it seems like people feel like you have to play the game. Even when some shady stuff happens, I think they feel like you're supposed to stay quiet about it and find a way around it. Like network it through, play the game, take one on the chin, take it on the chin, and then, just try to flourish with what you can. She didn't do that. She didn't want to play any. She didn't want to play the game. That's what it boils down to. She didn't want to play the game, and so she felt like a lot of money was taken from her. I don't think not just in that title deal. Live Nation is tied to JC, and they're tied to her tour. And I believe she said something about sabotage on her tour too. So her issue is that they take from her, steal from her. And she feels like they've been doing it for a long time. Also, this might have something to do with why she keeps Papa Bear's name hidden, private. I'm sure they know. This has something to do with her son. Her having a son. Might have been something that happened around the time she was pregnant. She might have had some fertility issues. That part might have had some truth to it. I don't know if she was really going around to fertility doctors, but something they put out surrounding her child had a little bit of truth. I think it did. Yes, and that's what I was going to say, Sissy. That's not anything that's uncommon for someone in that age. It's not uncommon. And I would imagine she had probably been on birth control for a long time to make sure she doesn't have any slip ups that interfere with her career. That could have presented some challenges if you've been taking birth control while you're climbing, and then when you hit your early 40s, you decide to get off and then start having a baby. You're probably going to need to see a doctor at some point. So I'm not saying there's any shade about that. I'm a woman and I get it. And I have an infertility diagnosis. I have PCOS. Even though I got pregnant, I had a miscarriage and it was so traumatic for me that I got on birth control until I got to a point where I felt like emotionally I was ready to try again and risk failing. But my marriage it didn't get to that point again to where I wanted to get off and try again. So you have PCOS too, sissy? Absolutely. So I'm not, I would never shade Nicki Minaj if she did. I'm just saying I think she did, and I can understand why, because she's probably been on birth control so that pregnancy doesn't interfere with her career. And then in her 40s, she decided to have a baby. She would probably need some help on her hormones because birth control, you know, birth control for a long period of time might make it difficult for you to get pregnant. Shout out to all the women with the PCOS, endometriosis, and all those other womb related issues. May we all heal together. If you guys need some help, my pussy power tea was made for someone like that, and I take it for myself. I take it, I drink it every morning. It's good. And one of your fellow busted babies, who's actually a nurse, asked me to come up with something to help her as her body is changing as well. I don't know if she has fertility issues, but I do know that she doesn't have children. And I hope she doesn't mind me sharing her story because I'm not going to say her name. She doesn't have children and went through one of those old school back alley forced abortions in her teen years by her mother. And so now that she's getting older, I think she started experiencing some changes that her medical knowledge just wasn't helping her with. And she wanted something more permanent to help her. And so I did some research, experimented, and then I came up with my Pussy Power Tea Blend. And it's been a blessing to me, and it's been a blessing to her. For the first time in my entire life, my cycles are manageable. I never had the really heavy bleeding, but honey, the pain, I would have to miss school because my cramps would be so bad. Heating pads, pain pills, and 2 or 3 days out, out of business. I've always had every symptom. So my symptoms would start 2 weeks before my cycle. That's when my breast would start getting tender. And then a week after that, maybe a week out from my period, is when I would start experiencing the cramps. And then the first 2 or 3 days, oh, the pain, the pain. And I didn't get diagnosed with PCOS until my miscarriage in my mid 20s. My mama ain't wasn't thinking about that. She wasn't thinking about rather that shit was normal. And she, as soon as I turned 14, she slapped me on birth control so quick. And actually, I think that's when my periods start getting bad. I don't remember having that bad pain and stuff until after I was introduced to the pill, that little pink pill they gave us millennials. That's when shit got bad for me. So I'll always say birth control ruined me. The pill. And us millennials know. We always say it's the pill because I think they used our generation to roll it out on. That little pink pill, we were the guinea pigs for that. And our mamas, at least mine, they ain't getting no fuck. They was just worried about their daughters not being fast. They didn't care about all, at least my mama didn't. And never thought twice about the pain. My mom didn't even look at me. She had her arms crossed, and the doctor asked if I was a virgin. And was I? No, I had just lost it. But I wasn't fast. I lost my virginity because I wanted to keep up with my cousins and prove to them that my vagina was better. even on the first try. I didn't do it again until years later. But I just remember the ride there with me asking where we was going. And she said to put you on some birth control because you 14. And I said, what does that mean? Is that when you supposed to take it? She said, no, that's when you get fast. And I remember thinking, bitch, I know you ain't talking. I remember judging the shit out of her. Like, at least I ain't never do cocaine. At least I wasn't doing cocaine. At least, and she had boyfriends at the time, and I had things to judge her for because I had done walked in on my mama having sex. I walked in on my mom a bunch of times when she was with my dad, but I walked in on her 2 or 3 times when she had boyfriends, and they weren't the same guy. So for me, I was like, if I am fast, bitch, I got it from you. I got it from you. I never let her live that down. My mama partied. Listen, she partied. She ain't never was shy. Was talk. She ain't never been shy to tell people she did coke, weed and coke, and she'll still tell the stories. My mama was lit. She was live. She was fine as fuck in the 70s. Yes, she did cocaine, bitch. Cocaine, weed. You couldn't fuck with my mama if you wasn't sliding the 8 ball, some cash, and some weed across the table. Yes, she was a 70s baddie. But I always judged her like, bitch, you a whole dope fiend. And get all the niggas you been fucking since my daddy got locked up. This is my dialogue in my mind, though. And then to come to find out I have PCOS later, I absolutely thought about her and the fact that she had 3 beautiful children. Because as soon as they told me that, I said, was it because of the pill? The birth control pill? She said, my doctor said could be. Could be. At the time, she said it's not enough studies on it at the moment to conclude that that's what it is. But she says, I'm seeing a rising trend in women who took the pill and infertility issues. So, anyways, I'll never shade Nicki Minaj if she did have to go to a couple doctors and get some things settled out. She had her baby, and that's all that matters. She had her baby. All right, how she sees herself. She has her husband on her mind. It's a lot going on with the husband right now. I know she's a Sag, he's an Aries. So this is him. You right, Miss Carol, because I didn't do cocaine, but I did shit my mama ain't never did. She ain't never pimped a bitch, and I did. I did. Might do it again too. If you girls like to be pimped out, you might as well get pimped out by somebody that care for you. I seen who Sweetie was letting pimp her out, and y'all letting other hoes be y'all madam. These hoes is not even old enough, wise enough. They ain't lived enough to be somebody madam. I seen Sweetie madam, and I say, how she the madam? And she the hoe too. I just don't get it. But anyways, her husband. I do think that he is not interested in being on anybody's side but his wife. He's going to ride for her. And I also think that he could be assembling the hood troops to be prepared for war. I can see him having hood thug YN blood sleaze meetings. Look at him overseeing the sleaze meeting. This is Sparta! That's what he said. Can I look in the bed? Kenzie lost her earring. Mm-mm. I'll do it. Now look, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. I do not think that anybody thinks Nicki Minaj was born, came into this world in her body with any issues. I don't think that they think that for real. I think that they will use that or anything that might work, anything that they can use that might work against her. And because of the way she rages and her antics go, people are going to believe it. Hence the Ten of Cups and Keisha Kayor's reading. They'll believe it. Kanye. She's aware of Kanye. I don't know if she thinks this is good for her or bad for her. She's probably thinking, well, this ain't going to help the narrative. I haven't been able to catch up on what he's saying because I've been in front of you guys and he's been popping up. So I know he outside, but I don't know what he's saying. But here he is in her hopes and fears position. So I'll say that. Outcome. Ay, Nikki. Nyah. Nyah. First, she had the devil. Now the chariot in reverse. So I'm going to say that this is good. Because the devil was all those people that were around her that don't like her, including her label. Did I say that in the devil the last time, or did I just say entities? Because in my mind, I was thinking her label don't like her. But I think I just said she has entities and people. But I definitely was thinking her label. And I said these people work with her but don't like to. They do it because she makes them money, but they don't want to. I was definitely talking about her label though. And then she called them out this week for not defending her. Nikki, let me tell you something. If you got to ask your biggest investor and supporter to support you, then they don't support you. I promise you they don't. I did. Okay, I was wondering because I thought about it when I saw her go call out her label. I was like, dang, I think I might have left that note in my mind. I should have said it so then I could have took credit. Okay. Okay, I'm glad I didn't leave that in my mental notes because I definitely leave something in my notes section sometimes and then get mad when it comes out. And I'd be like, oh man, I can't even say y'all heard it here first, even though you would have if I said it. It's not the devil anymore. And the devil is after the chariot. So she's gone from the devil down to the chariot. The chariot is number 7. Luck comes to mind. Bad luck, I'll say. Now that you got or started to expose all the snakes in your garden and honey, I wish you were my client so I could tell you how to be a Scorpio because you don't have enough Scorpio in your chart and I have a Scorpio descendant. So even though it's not my ascendant, meaning people would think I'm a Scorpio, nobody would think that I think and can behave like a Scorpio, but I can. And that's why it's in my descendant. It's hidden from what you all can see because it's my power. Nikki, I would tell you how to get out of this situation with the least damage. And I'm just going to give a little hint just in case you ever do see this. It requires a little bit of silence. It requires you to move in silence. And I know that fire energy that she has when she's on a righteous cause, she wants to champion it. But not all causes and not all battles can be won with fighting. Some battles are won strategically. That's where the silence comes in. And if you stay silent enough, then you can actually be quiet and peaceful and sound enough to see that all these people were snakes. Your label never supports you when the industry is coming for you. They have never. I've never seen them. I've never seen them tweet, "We ride for Nicki," "Barbs Unite," anything like that. They stay very quiet because they would like to go against you too if you didn't make them money or not have anything to do with you. They are an industry, they are a record label, and they're not even above the big dog Lucian. This is a cabal. These labels are not individual entities, they're like franchises, so to speak. That's how they operate. With Lucian being the grand poobah, okay? Republic don't have that much say so. They don't even have the biggest label. Imagine if they support you and then all the industries that's coming against Nicki Minaj and their labels come against Republic and all of their artists. So no, Nicki Minaj. And I wish you could hear that before you start holding your breath for them to support you and then wondering why they don't. Just look at the history. So now that the snakes are exposed, now you just have to deal with the sabotage and people waging wars against you. And I don't think that Nicki will win the war of the industry. She'll win some battles, but I don't think the war is going to be won by anyone. I kind of think it's going to be abandoned at some point, at least as far as she's concerned. The only thing she can do is stay in the industry or go. And eventually, Nicki will phase out. Lil Wayne has been ridiculed and his last album was rejected, so he's not going to invest anymore. Drake has just been dismantled. Nicki Minaj has the industry against her. Birdman somewhere at a young boy concert. He don't want no parts of this before the industry comes and topples him down like they try to do Diddy. But they completely topple Birdman because he's not valuable like that anymore. So Birdman ain't gonna be your saving grace either. I'm going to say Nicki Minaj's peak is behind her. The industry is against her. Whatever she tries to do, there will be someone there to stick their foot out to trip her up in the industry. Labels are putting her on a blacklist. It'd be nice if she does that, but I wonder if her ego. Nicki wants to be, she wants to remind everybody that you can't defeat me. And the way she does that is by going number one and being better than all the others. If she's in a healthy, peaceful state, then she'd be in the place to make music just for you guys. But the way it's looking, I wonder if they're going to succeed. I don't think they're going to be successful at breaking them up, but who knows? There's a rift here in a relationship, a personal relationship. Could be her and her label, her and her husband. I hope they survive this. They don't care. I'm meaning her label. They don't care about her putting out any more music. They don't care. They don't want to. Because her label doesn't want any part of beefing with all the other artists of the industry. Once Nicki is done releasing music, Republic still has to be Republic. So they're choosing the long game by not supporting her. They're gonna abandon you, Nicki Minaj. And if you're planning on doing a tour or something, Live Nation ain't gonna let that happen. Me too, sissy. That's why I rang the bell, just to be able to do this reading. After all the things she said about Live Nation, she can't do another tour unless she funds it herself or partners with a smaller entity. And she's not gonna, I don't think she's gonna just be independent, because the enjoyment of making music has probably long gone from now. This next album is going to be her proving a point, so to speak, not just giving you guys great music. She may every now and then, but all right, let me look into this child card. I want to see why that looks like it's here. I think she had some issues, and I think somebody told, and I think she denied it because she probably wasn't going to fertility doctors, so to speak. It's like I was going to doctors, but not the kind that, not how you're implying. But I think she did have some challenges. Also, I think she probably fears some rituals being done to her son if they have his name, even though they can take his picture. I think she thinks that there was an attempt on her life before. If people know his name, maybe people, would try to do stuff to things that they know are going to go to Papa Bear. I'm not sure, but I think that that tea might have had some truth, just not the full truth. What do you mean by destroyed, sissy? Like replaced by somebody better, or just like worn out? If by worn out, sure, she's already that. But if you mean like replaced by somebody else, they could try. They tried that with Cardi B, but you have to actually go over well with the general public. You have to in order to replace her. They can spend all the money they want. And we know that because Atlantic did that and it still wasn't enough. So, what they seem to try to neglect, and they don't neglect it, they are aware of the fact that they still do need people to like you, but they're trying to reprogram us to like less so that they can get over that challenge. They've already tried. Okay, well, then let's just plug somebody in there. It doesn't work. So, yes, they've been humbled enough to know that you actually have to have people genuinely like you. So now there's warfare and mind manipulation on the people. All right, let me look into Kenneth Petty and then I'm going to be done. Regulators! Wand, wand, wand. This man gonna ride for his queen. This man gonna ride for his queen. And I think he's assembling the troops. All the sleazes, y'all up. But look, when I said assembling the troops, assembling the motherfucking troops. Kanye, mental health. Here's Kanye again. I think Kanye might be trying to help in some way. I don't know what he's saying, but I think they might be concerned that he might be helping or hindering Nicki's situation. All right, well, the outcome is still more sabotage, more of that. So at least she doesn't still have secret enemies. They're out there now, and that's what they'll be doing. They'll be doing things against her. She'll be trying to stand her ground. But when the industry comes together and decides to kick you out, it's not too much you can do. You need these entities when you put out music, you need all the streaming sites, you need all of the individual entities. They have loyalties. Glorilla, the next queen, I guess Auntie, Auntie would have never thought that, but sure. I'm not opposed to knowing when I am being generationally obtuse, because while she makes good affirmation music, I I didn't think Glorilla had the lyricism, but that's a thing of the past. She don't need the lyricism anymore. Her Instagram. Can I do her Instagram? What am I asking again? Did somebody have it taken down? Spirit. She could be though. People like Glorilla, and as Nicki's um burning down the industry, I've been seeing them put Glorilla in conversations, like when Charlemagne the guy from the Breakfast Club said that Glorilla was better than Nicki or something like that. That was a part of the propaganda that they put out there to get conversations going. And once it's out in your subconscious, most people, it just sinks into their subconscious. And next thing you know, when some drama happens where they might have been neutral, they hate Nicki and they can't wait for her to go away. So Glorilla can be number one because Glorilla makes better music. Actually, if you look at the numbers and da 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 da, that's how that shit works. But all right, Spirit, what happened to Nicki Minaj's? She might tell you guys Queen Radio is coming up and she's gonna give you guys something tangible. Spirit, what happened to Nicki Minaj's Instagram most recently? People are saying that it's gone. What happened to Nicki Minaj's Instagram? Doechii made a big faux pas. Even white people pander to the black culture to get put on. They don't turn against us until they go mainstream. Doechii overplayed her hand. She got really excited when she got that push, made that statement about straight black men. And I'm sorry, but black men are not watching Doechii like that. They not straight black men. They not watching blogs and watching what artists are saying. Women and gay men are. She turned off a lot of women, a lot of black women. Bitch, how are heterosexual black men the problem if you are gay? You don't even fuck with them. So if I don't complain, somebody who don't mess with them don't need to. And I'm sorry, but heterosexual black men and women are the foundation of us having a community. So, like what you like, but let's not be obtuse. Let's not start being foolish here. Without your straight ass mama and daddy, you wouldn't be here to say what you said about straight ass daddies. So Doechii alienated a community that she needs to get put on. It's very sad. All right, what happened to Nicki Minaj's Instagram? As a Florida girl, I don't, she don't give Florida to me. And nobody that's black from Florida represents Florida with alligators. That's white people. I'm sorry, I'm in Florida. We don't care nothing about the alligators here, but white people do. As a Floridian, I would never use alligators as my way of stamping me as a Florida girl. I wouldn't. And to be honest, we are not in the place, black people, we're not in the places where alligators be like that. We don't be in the Everglades and stuff like. It would take me, I've been in Florida all my life and I'm 38. I see alligators when I go to the springs and to the Everglades. But alligators are freshwater, so you'll only see them in springs, Everglades, and parts of the ocean where the springs meet. You're not just gonna see no alligator floating around at the beach. So that was a little weird to me because I was like, that's that white, white people would rep gators from Florida. So there's something unbelievable about her to me. Because as a dark skinned Florida girl, alligators, that's the furthest thing from my mind. There are some people in Florida that have never seen an alligator in their life because they just don't be where the alligators be. And it's easy to do that, to never encounter an alligator in Florida. That's easy. If you don't want to encounter them, you don't have to. So I was like, that's kind of redneck white. That's salt life white. But sure. Anyways, what happened to Nicki Minaj's Instagram? And not coming for her, but I also was in, I liked Azalea Banks when she came out. And then I heard Doechii when she came out. Not this new mainstream Doechii. I heard of Doechii when she first came out. And the people in the Azalea Banks community all knew that she was like the new Azalea, just one that people could tolerate. I remember her, Doechii herself, before she was mainstream. Doechii said that she admired Azalea Banks. Azalea was on her way out because she fit, she worked, but she was too problematic. And she would expose people. If you got on her bad side, she'd expose things. Doechii ain't gonna do that. She gonna play the game. So I'm still Team Azalea for the simple fact that she didn't come to take nobody's spot. She created her own. And she didn't play a game if she didn't want to play a game and if she didn't feel like she was in charge. I admire people that are authentically themselves, whether it's for the good, the bad, or the ugly. And I don't like no copycatter ass bitch. Nicki Minaj, was your Instagram? What happened to your Instagram, honey? Slavery. Honestly, that's the furthest thing from my mind, but I guess I can see how you think that. Didn't they say that they used to feed slaves to them? Furthest thing from my mind. When I think of slavery, I think of Georgia. The picture in my mind of slavery is permanently tied to Georgia. Not not New Orleans, not Virginia, not nowhere else that it existed. Georgia. Yeah, they did. They did. I just Georgia when I think of slavery. Get your thirsty ass out of here. Oh, all right. There could have been an angry fire sign that snatched it. I don't think this one is her husband. When I think of alligators and crocodiles, I think of salt life. I don't know if you guys know what that term is, but in Florida, I don't even know what it means. Well, saltwater life, but like the whites here, like the rednecks in Florida, they all wear salt life gear, camouflage salt life hats. They have salt life on the back of their trucks. You know, them ones be out there fucking around with the alligators. They don't mind. But I think of, you think Alabama is being extremely racist in Tennessee? Alabama is. It's another Georgia. Tennessee, be careful in the mountains, child. Thank you, Andrew. I actually like the Salt Life Caucasian crew. In my experience, you guys aren't the racist ones. You guys are the ones that like to turn up with the blacks. You know, y'all be at the tailgate parties, loud, drunk, Budweiser's cracking over your skulls. Um, but no, the most racist people that I've experienced in Florida are the older people, the older whites, the Latin community, especially the Cubans in South Florida. South Florida, Miami racist is a nasty kind of racist, it's prejudiced, it's colorist, it's elitist, it's all the ists. And then there's another kind of redneck that I call the good old boys. Those are the ones that don't really jive with the blacks. The salt life ones do, but the good old boys, as I call them, don't. And since I live in Ocala, the Ocala National Forest is here, and that's where they live. It has been a long standing Negro fact in Ocala, Daytona, in the Central Florida area that we do not like to ride through the forest at night, not by ourselves. And you kind of have to ride there to go to Daytona. That's the safest route, though, but we don't like to do it at night, at least back in the day, because you can go missing really quick out there. And it's still like that to that day. So you won't find too many of us around Ocala National Forest, and it's huge. It's huge. It spans a few counties. So those are the ones that it's a, Andrew. Anyways, all right. I think Jay Z had something to do with it, or at least she thinks so. Hmm. Some fire sign or some businessman took it down. Block. Maybe passwords changed, maybe locked out of her own account and it taken down. It won't be so easy for her to get back into it. I see that much. It's like that area is a sundown. The forest is in Ocala, where I live, and it's in a few other surrounding cities, but Ocala itself isn't dangerous. The forest, though, I grew up knowing, nobody don't go through the forest at night. And if you do, you got to have your fire on your lap somewhere where you can get to it really easily. Historically, there have been a lot of blacks that have gone missing out there or have been found out there. Probably more than we will ever know of, for sure. So I could, I definitely could. Let's ask. And then I'm gonna close because you guys got 5 minutes. Isn't her live at 8? I don't want to keep y'all because I don't like getting dumped. I don't like getting ghosted. So if I see y'all leave and choose someone else over me, then my feelings gonna be hurt. But if I prepare for the situation and release y'all ahead, it's at 11. Oh, honey, I'm gonna be on my third dream by then. All right. Could Beyond the Veil with Adina help Nicki Minaj? Even just a smidget. Spirit, could we help Nicki Minaj in any way? In any way? Or is it above our heads? Is it above us now? Has it gotten too nasty for little old me? If I told y'all what I think I just did, then some of y'all would unfollow me because y'all would think I'm cocky. But I want to tell y'all what I think I'm responsible for. Could we help Nicki Minaj with any of her spiritual or otherwise issues that she's having, hypothetically? Absolutely. Could help her get past them, beyond them. It's not beyond me. I think I could help her get beyond it. Whoever she's working with, they're not, I don't want to say strong enough. I'm going to say they're not equipped. They're not qualified enough. I can't. Sissy, the last time you guys told me to make a Twitter and I took you guys' advice, Twitter permanently banned me. I am the Nicki Minaj of psychic community. I can't make a TikTok and I didn't even fully get my page up. I would never tweet, JD. I tried Twitter back in the day. Nothing, sissy. They found out I came over from YouTube. All I did was upload um, like 30-second clips of some of my videos from here. That's all I was going to use my Twitter for, was to upload clips, because one of you guys told me that you guys shared one of my videos there and it got 20,000 plus views. And you guys were like, you can go viral on TikTok and stuff like that. Oh, it was TikTok, not Twitter that banned me, TikTok. I would never tweet. I don't like small talk and chit chat. So unless I have something to say, I'm not going to tweet anything. I don't think it's permanently gone. I think it's not as easy, though, as just logging back in. She'll have to work a little bit to get restored. If she permanently goes, did I get the death card? No, it was the King of Wands in reverse. So no, it's not permanent. I would never talk. I would never talk. Whoever she's dealing with isn't qualified to get her out of this mess. And they're kind of messy too. I could help her because whoever's currently helping her, they're not freeing her completely from it. It's like they're helping her have a few good days, but I could help her get out free. Whoever she works with, they're not initiated like I am. I'm sorry, this sounds a little braggadocious, but I asked, and I'm kind of reading myself. They don't have enough insight. enough knowledge on a broad array of things. And they're not a necromancer. They can't tap into other people's spirits. So they're kind of working in the dark. Let me clarify the 3. Oh, sad, because she might not ever know I exist. Eh. A lot of damage is done though already. That can't be recovered. 3 of Wands. There is somebody that she works with. They're not effective. And they might be working against her too. But then there's someone else. Now remember, this was her outcome. But I'm reading if I can help her. And behind the help, it's upright. And there's me, Libra, air sign, big Dina energy. Can't be a queen if you ain't got no experience. And this, that's the, I forgot what they call. I have one though. But initiates wear this. She took my advice, and if I was consulting her with practical knowledge and spiritual knowledge, and the spirits flying over my head, Papa Legba doesn't leave me. And if he owns the realms in between this realm and the spiritual realms and determines who can go through, I am his daughter. He's on my head. He crowned me. Practical knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Look at me. Come on, Nikki. Come on in. I'll consult you and I'll do some woo for you. Right next to the card of sweet success and victory. But I would come in between a relationship she already has with someone that's supposed to be helping her. I don't know who that is, but oh, I see. Okay, well, I could. I could, but hey. Absolutely, Osman. Beyond the Veil Adina at gmail.com. My service list is posted on my page. You just have to go to my posts, as well as the prices for my consultations, which are $75 for 1 hour. We can talk about whatever you like, but you better catch me now because y'all keep pissing me off. It's going to be $100. And to close, I just want to state, because I'm done here, here's a little bit of business, because I shared a situation that I've had with a client who ran off on an emergency consultation the other night. And even though they're probably watching, and I did get your text message with your apology, and I won't say your name or anything like that out of respect for you, but I was about to fuck you up. So you have to communicate and not let me think that you ran off on the plug. And I still have not been compensated. But yet, following your apology, you asked me another question. It's on my Instagram, sissy. I posted the text I sent her and explained why. And I also said that if anybody tries me like that again, I will permanently. How, sissy? Well, you know how I was venting to you guys the other night about feeling a little bit undervalued and stuff like that. Well, while I was venting to you guys, she was texting me back to back to back. So as soon as I got off, and it's someone that I think I only spoke to once before, but they're like, I need an emergency consultation. It's an emergency. Now, I actually was like, we can do it tomorrow. But then the charity in me, because y'all know I'm a soft ass, charitable ass bitch. Only thing I'm guilty of is being too friendly. You was a peasant asshole triggered the charity in me. I ain't saying you, busted baby, are a peasant asshole. That's just the lyric to my song. People be triggering the charity. So anyway, she's like, I need help. Emergency, emergency, emergency. I have a few clients who SOS me, and I drop what I'm doing to make sure that they're not getting ready to do something that they can't come back from. So usually when I see that, I usually make accommodations. I don't do anything after 8 p.m., but I said, fuck it. If it's an emergency like this, because she's texting and texting me, then I'm going to help her. I could try to wait till tomorrow and she could not be here anymore. What if it's life or death? So I got off the live and I said, okay, 9 o'clock, let's talk. Well, I noticed that she agreed but didn't send no money on. So I was like, shit, man, this sucks because I'm gonna have to tell this lady who seems like she's an emergency, I can't help you if you don't send me no coin. I don't work for free unless I choose to, unless I offer it. And I was just like, okay. And I hate having to have those conversations because it makes me feel like I'm being greedy when really I'm just I'm just trying to keep my boundaries intact. Nevertheless, the time came for the consultation, and we got on the phone, and I started off by saying, "So just to let you know, I do not do free consultations, and you haven't confirmed this appointment yet." She's like, "Oh, no, 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 no. I'm sending it right now. I'm going to send it right now, right now." Okay. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I keep going. We get into the consultation. I'm in it. Then I think about it. And so by the end of the consultation, and y'all know, because most of y'all have gotten consultations with me, and maybe one or two have ended at the hour mark exactly. And that's only because y'all don't be having a bunch of questions to ask. But I never stop the clock immediately at that hour if we're still into things. I'll let it go over. Not by too much, but if there's still stuff to get out of the way, I don't pay it any attention. We gonna get the job done. So it's like an hour and 15 minutes, and by then she's already ordered $361 worth of services. And so I'm like, well, damn. Okay, well, then I'll throw in the consultation for half off if you are going to be paying for your services now, then I'll split the consultation in half. She said, give me 30 minutes to drive home. I said, okay, because I don't usually do this, and I think this is a little weird, but okay, because you said when we got on the phone you were about to do it. So 30 minutes went by. Y'all, I didn't hear from that lady until yesterday morning. I was in the gym and she texted and was like, hey, I fell asleep last night. Um, I was wondering if I could send you half today, half Friday. Because I got to move some money around in the bank, so I should be able to send it by 5. I don't do payment plans either. So I said, okay, okay. 5 o'clock gets here. I'm like, okay. 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, I text her and it was 7 on the dot because I was waiting for 7 o'clock. Because I was like, maybe, I tried to accommodate. 7 o'clock, I sent a text and I'm like, I know that I said I was going to bundle your consultation in with other stuff, But at this point, I need you to pay for the consultation that I gave you. If you still want any other services, then you can come back for that. But you're going to have to pay me for that consultation. And she did not respond at all. No response. None. Until about an hour before I got on live. And I got a I'm sorry and some other stuff. And so I'm going to hold off at what I was going to do. But she also said that she was going to compensate me for the consultation. And I still haven't gotten it. So just an FYI for anybody that definitely not. Stealing from me is like trying to kill me. Both of them are equal to me, so I treat them the same. This is the first time anybody stole from me since I've been doing this. First time. So, moving forward, the way I tend to operate is the same way you do when you make a purchase anywhere else. You take your item, you go to the register, and you pay for it, and then you take your item and you take it home. How can I guarantee that my services are going to be compensated if I provide a consultation over the phone before you pay me? I've never ran off on any of my clients. I'm always on time and I give you the whole entire shebang and sometimes more. And so I said if anybody does that to me again, all of my charitable services are cut off. Not a free reading for victims of people who are unalived and didn't get justice. No more discounted group ceremonies because I don't have any ceremony under $100. And the ones that I've done on this channel are at least 150 to 200. I discount them to $50 so that people can get in on them. That is my way of giving back. I donate consultations. I throw people into ceremonies randomly all the time. I will absolutely take all of that off the board if that happens to me again. Also, for those who do not know how to book with me, even if you ask for a date and a time and I agree to it, if you have not paid for it, by the time that 24 hours before that consultation and somebody else comes along and wants that date and time, they will have it if they pay for it. It's only fully confirmed when it's paid for because even though we've built a nice community here and I love you all dearly, I don't know y'all like that. And so I don't have blind trust or faith in anyone. And I offer value here. So please do not have me thinking that you guys are trying to take advantage. Because I will not show mercy when I get my lick back. Absolutely. I will treat you like you tried to steal from one of my nieces or nephews. I'll treat you like you tried to take my life, and I handle it that way. So that's that. And it was literally while I was venting about feeling valued. And then, how could you do that to me? I've never mistreated or mishandled any of you guys. So that's that with that. It almost made me cry, but it infuriated me. I was at the gym today trying to, I literally went to the gym just to work that out because I was upset. I felt so disrespected. So disrespected. And I went out of my way and made so many concessions. And, you know, I felt so disrespected. And then it made me sad because I was like, how could one of my busted babies do that to me? She literally praised me and my work in the consultation. So, with that being said, I'm not venting anymore, but I had to get that business out of the way and erect my boundaries so that you guys understand that as nice as I try to be and as charitable as I try to be, because for me, it's not charity. For me, it is me having a heart and being passionate about taking care of God's people like I promised to do when I was 12. But I don't mind telling my spirits and God itself, fuck these people and fuck this job. Because don't let nobody play with me if you know why I'm here. She sent a text and apologized today, but if you're watching, you said you were going to compensate me for the consultation and you still have not. Now, I don't know if you mean on Friday, but you have to find a better way of communicating. You got a service. If you can't pay it today or tomorrow or on a certain date, you have to say, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm going to compensate you when I get paid on X, Y, and Z. And I won't say nothing else about it. But yeah, I don't want an apology. I just want my coin. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel. You don't do that at the store. You wouldn't do that to the IRS. You don't run off with the government money. You pay your taxes faithfully. I know most of them get taken out, but y'all don't play these games with the man. So I'm not going to allow you to play it with me. The same respect you give Uncle Sam and all the other leaders that your boss at work who get to talk to you any kind of way, the same way that landlord get that check on the first of the month, because if you don't, you know they're going to put you out. I'm worse than all of them. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So make it right, because I said I was going to give you till Saturday. And if I do some shit on Saturday, that means I don't want. All right. So with that regard, I don't think so. Sissy, I don't think I've seen her in the chat recently. But it's something someone that I've seen on my Instagram, and that made me sad because I was like, wait, you? How could you do this to me? I gave till Saturday because that's the day that I like to do certain things. If I say I'm going to do some work on a Saturday, nobody should think I'm doing anything cute. So that wasn't me being gracious. That was me saying I'm choosing Saturday because that's my day to that's my. Anyways, I do have discipline, lots of it. That's how I'm good at what I do. Because when I set my mind on something, I don't leave it. My focus is undisturbed. Teeth, I don't know what you talk about, JD, but I'm not going to dox the person because they did apologize and say that they wanted to make it right, and I would like to give them the opportunity. But you did not make it right today. You did not compensate me today, and it's been um, over. It's been over 48 hours at 7 o'clock today. So that is a problem for me. And if you don't have it, I'd understand that too. But If I ain't got no understanding, I come to my own conclusions and then I handle things from there. So, with that being said, I hated to have this conversation on live. I hated to bring that out there, but I am really disturbed by somebody doing that to me. Oh, JD. Well, we'll see. So, with that being said, I do love and appreciate all of you. Um, I need to get to bed because I have a long day tomorrow. Gym at 6. Back to finish staging my uncle and aunt's property tomorrow, and more more documentation. I need to go order open house signs and all that stuff because I'm going to do a broker's open for their house. I'm listing it at 700,000. So if any of you guys want a 2-story brick home on 2.97 acres in the prestigious horse country of the USA. So if you got a little coin, holler at me. I got a home for you. Next time, one of these days when I'm down there, I'll probably go live. Maybe when I do the open house, I'll go live as I set up so you guys can see how I prepare for open houses. All right. Well, good night, you guys, and you Barbs, have fun on that on that station head or Queen Radio. You guys have fun and be safe, child. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Oh.